Hello YouTube, back in the toy room. This is my storage room, if you will, for all my toys that go to toy shows and stuff I sell online on Facebook groups and occasionally on eBay. All this stuff here, all these totes here are filled with all the stuff that came with me to Exeter Toy Fair. Quite a fun day actually. It's been the first time we've been back at a toy show since I think February last year, 2020. So it's pretty cool. I mean, in London they've had a few shows in places, but in the West Country there's been absolutely nothing. It's been really quiet, apart from the occasional antique and flea market, but there's been no real shows. So to get back to a proper show is amazing. The Exeter Toy Show is put on by Bulldog Fairs, and they've been doing it for donkey's years. They also do like the Shepton Mallet one and the Malvern Three Counties one, and they're pretty good to go to. They are not as big as stuff as like NEC, Birmingham or Sandown, but they do have quite a lot of stalls, and especially if you're into your trains and your die-casts and that sort of stuff, you can have a field day because it's filled with that sort of stuff. But they do occasionally have some good, what we call like pop culture toys, things like this. So it was actually good to actually see some old friends. Toy Planet UK was there. They had their big, like, what was it, like 10 stalls in a row sort of thing, filled with goodies. And it was nice to catch up with people really and see how people have been and see what kind of things that people have been picking up, what they've been buying in lockdown. So I did a bit of hunting myself, of course. I sold a few bits and bobs, sold a lot of Jurassic Park, so I thought I'd go on the hunt and see what else I can find at the toy show. And when you're hunting at toy shows, it can be quite tricky to find stuff when you're selling, because you've got to be quick. Stuff doesn't like sit around for ages. As soon as you somebody puts a box of stuff out, the early birds take it straight away. Early birds usually get in about 8:30 in the morning, whilst general entry is about 10 o'clock. So it's always good to be an early bird if you're already after the bargains. But yeah, it was a show that was a bit, it surprised me actually, because I thought it'd be a bit quieter because of lockdown. People still kind of getting over that sort of interaction with people again. But no, it was really good. And in terms of my buying, I got some bargains and a really good figure, a really good find, which I'll show you in a second. So first off, I'm going to show you what I got. So let's have a look. So I went to a stall and they had some random pieces basically. So I'm collecting sports cards, especially stuff from, I collect baseball and basketball, but I'm also collecting football cards, as in UK football, not soccer as they call it. And I picked up these three. The camera's back to front, so you might not be able to see it. But yeah, these are from the 70s. These cards have a very similar design to the Topps 1975 baseball set, kind of double coloured here. Nothing special, I mean, but these were just something I wanted just to see what they kind of go for, read up about them, that sort of thing. I'm really into like grading football cards at the moment, and vintage football cards. So if anybody else has any old cards, especially more older ones from the 30s and 20s, I'm really after those. So give me a shout. So that and this thing cost me £3. I wouldn't have usually paid it really, but I kind of wanted those cards and I didn't know what this was, but I saw it recently in a toy video somebody made, and I bumped into James from Caboot Collector, and he told me he reckons it's Thundercats, which I think's right. I think that's right. I first thought it might have been something to do with what's it called, the Secret Wars sort of toy line, but no, I think it's Thundercats. But I thought, well, it's worth doing a bit of research for a couple of quid. And what else did I get? Throughout the day I was buying up random stuff. Got this for £12. Tom Baker carded figure from the first run, which comes with the torso of the robot, so you can build the large robot from the episode titled Robot. So yeah, he's pretty cool. I think he was £12 I think I paid for him. And then I had a bit of a stroke of luck. I found Darth Vader. Here's his arms. The annoying thing is, so it's got like a rubber band here, and the arms are like hollow. So you just basically put like an elastic band through, and you tighten them and you'll be fine. But the problem is with this one is this ball socket there is just snapped, so and I haven't got the bits of it. So my dad reckons he can fix it for me. Yeah, Toy Poloy does a really good video showing you how to make this, how to repair this one. He does it for the Chewbacca, and I think he does it for the Rancor as well. They both have this very similar setup. So yeah, he's pretty cool. He was £15. When I went up to the store, the guy was like, he's £15. I said, does that come with the arms? He went, yeah. He went, just call it £10. And I was like, yeah, deal. Because I got one of these in my collection box already, and I love these Vaders. If you ever watch Retro Blasting, he has a Vader with no arms as well. But this one's going to get his arms back, I think. But for £10, that was what I consider an absolute steal. And then I picked up some modern classic Doctor Who figures. They're all in bags, but they only wanted £4 each. So I thought, well, I do collect them, but I don't really collect them at the same time. I collect the ones from the 60s and the early 70s up to Tom Baker. I don't really go. I'm just a fan of the first three Doctors, basically. But I do like them all, but I try not to collect all of them. But this was £4 each. It was a bargain, especially when you see the one I got here. So I got Harry, who appears in the Series 12 with Tom Baker. I've got Perry. I think that's from her, I want to say Planet Fire or maybe Mind Warp episode. And then I got Tom Baker himself, but it looks like a different sculpt to the one that's in sealed. I can focus in a bit. And then the 7th Doctor, I think he's part of the TARDIS set. And then finally the best one, Paul McGann's 8th Doctor. Now I never see this one for sale. There's modern Big Finish versions of him you can buy at B&M and stuff like that, and you can get them on eBay. I've got a few in my collection, but I never had the actual traditional ones in the movie. I think this was part of a multi-pack, and they've never released them singularly ever since, or if they did, it's a really expensive one. But £4 each, that's amazing. That one there, I think he's worth like £20 on his own, so that kind of pays for it if I sell those ones, but I might just put them in my collection because I don't have them, so that's awesome. And then, what else have I have? I've got some really good things. I want to keep like the best thing to last, really. So then, Toy Ploy came up to me, and he swapped me this. This is a Johnny West 1960s Marx Toys soldier. He's missing all of his accessories apart from obviously his jacket thing. He's in alright condition. His hair needs to be repainted. His arms are really rusted in point joints. If you ever get these sort of figures, they're really nice, but the problem is they're a bit lumpy. They're really heavy, and the plastic is really soft. So they do have a tendency of just splitting and just falling to pieces. But yeah, he's really cool. He's not, not in the most amazing condition, but he's in a condition where I can give him a wipe over, I can give him a bit of a paint and restore him. I do have that hat and a belt for him somewhere, so I'll find those eventually and put them out for sale in the store. But I swapped them for some Action Man Space Ranger gloves and helmets and stuff. I've got it somewhere, so I'm going to dig it out for him and send it to him in the post. So the next thing I got, which is really cool, this is actually at the end of the day, so we're going to flash forward. A lady from another store, she had some amazing doll size pieces. And I actually bought something of her. I bought a small newspaper saying VE Day and end of the Second World War, because I collect Action Man. I just want to display my Action Man. But she sold me this for £12. The Ghostbuster house. Now I wouldn't usually purchased it because it's quite big, but this is my favourite toy as a kid, and it's missing pieces, but all the rest of it is in really nice condition. Bit of yellowing on the front, but it does have the pole, and it has one of the doors on the bottom there, and it's not broken. So I might make this my little project where over the next year or so I'm going to try and find the pieces. The sign's the hardest piece to find because it's usually for sale for about £30, which is a bit of a rip-off price, but I don't mind paying 15 quid for a sign, but I'm not going to pay £35, £40 for a sign. But I'll just wait to get the pieces. I always pick them up in job lots and stuff, so eventually I'll find it. And as well as that, it also came with this. Now this is like some kind of space pod thing. It's Disney. Actually, I'll find that right now. I know nothing about it really, and nor did she. Once you press the button, it's like a Jack-in-the-Box thing, and Goofy appears in his little space outfit with his little wrench. I like all kinds of space stuff, so I thought for the price of this, throw it in part of the deal. Something cool and quirky. Now, where should we go now? Let's go something a bit more modern, shall we? So, like most people, I've been watching the Marvel series on Disney Plus. I'm a big fan of the Captain America series, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, just because I like Captain America. I've always liked Captain America, so I like the Falcon because he used to share comic books with Captain America. And I've been picking up the Marvel Legends line. Now, I'm not a massive Marvel Legends collector. They're relatively cheap, but it's just a minefield of what you collect. There's so many of them. I don't want to collect any of the comic book ones, apart from maybe some of the early 90s animated series style ones. But I don't want to collect anything else really, apart from the TV and film series, the MCU. So I picked up, these are like brand new, fresh out this week, Wanda Vision, Scarlet Witch. Now she is really cool, really detailed. Some of the figures have been quite poor quality in terms of sculpts. Some of the sculpts are terrible, but her sculpt is really good. You can tell straight away it's Elizabeth Olsen. Very cool. And on the back is a builder figure. You can basically pick up all the MCU TV shows figures, and you get to build the modern Sam as Captain America with his wings. Bit of a cop out, because I think when you buy the Sam as a figure, you don't get the wings, which is a bit annoying, because if you were trying to buy Falcon without his wings, that would be like a really poor product, wouldn't it? So it's a bit, yeah, got mixed reviews on that. But at the end of the day, I'm probably going to get all these anyway, because Bucky and Sam look really good. The US agent or the other Captain America, should we say, and Loki look incredible. The White Vision I'm not that bothered with, but I'm going to probably pick up just to complete Sam. And the other figure I got is Baron Zemo. His name Daniel something, the actor. He looks just like him as well. I was a bit disappointed by him in the TV series. Actually, I thought he would be a bit more of a baddie, a bit more of the a bit more plot about him, a bit more evil. But he came across a bit fun, great actor. Don't get me wrong, but I wanted to see him wear his mask more, because that was heavily hinted. And then finally, I've got a few more things. So this is on the same store. The guys that were selling these Marvel Legends figures, they were basically just set up their own company, doing modern stuff, and they were doing their first Exeter show, which is really cool to see those guys. Nice to see some modern stuff for sale. And they also had this, and I was like, should I buy it? And I thought, yeah, I just have to buy it. It's the Batman Batarang. It's the 1989 Tim Burton, Michael Keaton Batman version. Now, I won't get it out because it's a bit annoying. It comes on the plastic base, which you can kind of see on the back here. The base is really thin, like it can easily be crushed. If you put your finger on it, just hold it in properly, it will just snap. It's really poor quality. But the actual device is really cool. It kind of folds up like this, and it says here it's a magnetic extending and folding feature. But for some reason I can't make it click or anything like that. It doesn't really do anything. So I paid £20 for this, and so I'm a little bit disappointed. But £20 is not bad. I mean, if it was just like a highly detailed replica, you'd be looking at like £150 sort of price. So for what it was, it's quite nice. It feels quite well when you have it in your hand. It feels like you can throw it properly. It's really cool. This is more of a piece that you put on your shelf and just look at. It's not a piece you can play with, or actually you could probably do a bit of cosplay. If you're cosplaying, this would be a great piece to pick up because it's cheap, and as in cheap as in value, and then the quality of the actual Batarang is actually pretty good. It's hard to explain really. It doesn't have that kind of weight that you want to it. Yeah, it does fold. It's pretty cool how it folds. I'm not sure if I would have picked this up if I saw it in person. I don't really have a Batman collection at all going on, so I just love these films, and I love that logo. So maybe I'll keep it. I might sell it, but I might just keep it for now. And on to the last actual pickup of the day, which is in my thing. So this was my favourite find of the day, and I couldn't believe it really. There was a stall that was selling kind of like bits of train stuff, bits of diecast stuff, Meccano, some old board games, and they had like buckets on the table filled with pieces, like random stuff. It was all stuff to do with trains really, and stuff from like Meccano, and there's something else like maybe a bit of Subbuteo, and it was absolutely covered in rubbish, like manky. And I was digging through, saw some figures. They had some figures from the modern Doctor Who stuff, and they had, I think, some Ghostbusters, which were just horrible quality, like they're all scratched up. And then I found this, and I think they thought it was a Ghostbuster. I said to them, before I even said to them, I said to them, you know, how much was the Ghostbusters? And they're like, everything's £1 in the box, basically. So this is the second one I've ever found, actually. We have a last 17. A man. I don't know what his name is. A man. Which is a weird name, but yeah, a man. He's missing his staff. He's really quite good quality. He's got a few scuffs. His arms are really super tight. He is a bit of a strange creature. When you see him in Star Wars collections, he kind of stands out quite a bit because he doesn't really look like a Star Wars character. He looks like an alien, but he doesn't really fit in that same sort of like style that we're used to. But he was £1, and I just couldn't believe it. I should have really bought all the Ghostbusters as well, because even though they're dirty looking, I could clean them up, maybe kind of like pass them on to somebody who could customise them. But for £1, what a steal. And last but not least, my dad actually repaired something for me. I bought this off maybe Facebook about 6 months ago. This is, you can see in here, the Girl from Uncle garter holster. Now this goes round a girl's leg, and it's a little gun with a holster, and it has a little bullet down the bottom. Now this was in quite poor condition. It was all complete and it's all vintage, but it was kind of falling apart. The way the strap goes on the back, as you can see, it's a Ferrari box to keep it safe. But it has like splits and everything, and my dad decided to repair it. It's all original, everything is as it is. Just a few splits and rips have been kind of slightly glued back together to make it look nicer and displayable. So the Girl from Uncle was basically a spin-off from the Man from Uncle. I think it lasted for one series, probably back in 67, 68, that sort of time, just after the original run, Man from Uncle. Really cool. I've only ever seen one of these once before for sale, and that was at Sandown, and my dad purchased it from a guy, and we'd never seen one before. We were like, that's just cool. So to find the second one, but I had it for sale for £65 on my stall. So if anybody wants it out there for £65 postage, you can go on our Instagram page, which is Time Tunnel Toys UK, or our Facebook group, which is also Time Tunnel Toys UK. We have a group and a page on Facebook, so please like both of them. The group is where you'll find all of our items to sell. So yes, great day. Glad to be back. Great to see people again. Thank you to everybody who bought from us on the day. It was really just amazing to see people again and actually like share experiences of toy collecting and toy hunting and toy selling. It was good to be back. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more of these videos. As always, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe and happy hunting. Bye.